Thank you all very much. I'm just waiting on the notification. And perfect. Boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have incredible guests that we are very honored and humbled would take time out of their busy schedule to come give us some information as well as inspiration. And that is none other than Brother Henry and Sister Kishanda. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
This means so much to us that you all will be on the People's Podcast this afternoon. Well, the first thing that we want to know is, before we went live, I heard about you owning businesses, being business owners. We'll start with you, Brother Henry. What businesses do you own, and how did you get into that?
We own a beauty supply store. We have a product line. We have some salons. We have a publishing company. We do clothing. Our biggest baby, I shouldn't say our biggest, but our most proud thing that we do, though, is that we own a private school that's kindergarten through high school. That's definitely our passion in life right there.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And before I come to you, Sister Kishanda, my sister Miriam sends the greetings. My uncle Minister Jamil sends the greetings. Sister Robin sends the greetings, and my sister Naima sends the greetings. Thank you all for continuing to watch the People's Podcast. Now, we're going to come to the school, but I want to deal with this beauty shop. Let's start with you, Sister Kishanda. That's something that I didn't know a lot of Black people were into that. How did you get into that, and what advice would you give to people as far as the way to support that business?
My husband and I got in, started off making our own product line. So we started with a very niche product of liquid black soap. So we were producing our liquid black soap probably for about a year. And we had gotten to the point where we wanted to get it into different stores, different outlets. So we had approached the Walmarts within our region so that they could put our product in their store. So long story short, Walmart pretty much tried to cut us out the deal. All right, so they wanted our product, but they didn't want to provide us with enough revenue off of the sale of the product. So we decided not to put our product in Walmart. And from there, we're like, well, we can't keep selling out the trunk of our car. we have to open a store or put our products in a store. And so we decided to marry the beauty industry with our own product. So the idea was that people probably won't come and support or buy from just Kikifers product line, right? But if you can provide them with other things that they purchase already, right? Braiding hair, crochet hair, combs, brushes, shampoo, conditioner, those things that you find in a beauty supply store. And in addition, we put our own product in the store. And that's how it came about. So we decided to open our own beauty supply store and put our products in that store instead of continuing to look for others to do for us what we could just do for ourselves. And advice that I would give anybody that's looking to get into entrepreneurship, into owning their own business, is just stick it through. Just continue to be consistent. Just continue to work at it. I know it's cliche, but just never give up on it. Just continue to work at it and continue to just fight. That's the best advice I can give someone.
Praise be to Allah. Beautiful. That's amazing. And so many people are showing you all love in the comments. And thank you all for continuing to like, share, and subscribe to the People's Podcast. My uncle Minister Jamil said this is a power couple, a real power couple. And my sister Miriam says all praises to Allah. For you, Brother Henry, how did you go from? Well, first of all, how can we support the business? Can we order the soap online, or how does that work?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you can order. You can definitely order online. I have to check to see if the site. I have a tech team, so they keep everything running for us because it's just way too much that's happening. But I believe our beauty supply website should be up. You can always order that way. People that know us, of course, can always order. For the believers, we definitely take care of them. If they inbox me or something, I'll make sure we take care of them. So really, Savior's Day really is what gave us our boost. When we first had our product and we were making it, and we said, all right, we want to take it and see how the people respond. And we got, I want to say the first year we put it out there, we ended up getting about 340 emails from the believers alone of supporters of the product. And that kind of gave us the courage to say, we can do this. So yeah, absolutely. The website, or just hit me up. I got the Believers, and everybody else too. Not just the Believers, but if you hit us up, we got you.
Yes, sir. When you say the website, may we have the website, sir?
Let me find it while we're on the podcast. I don't even know
yes,
that website. We got about 3 or 4 websites, so let me find that one and I'll get it.
You can also find us on Facebook. So our business page on Facebook is called Kikifers Beauty Supply. And so you can send us a direct message on Facebook, which is something that Believers and just customers have done in the past. They've reached out to us directly on Facebook because especially even during the pandemic, when we were kind of distancing and we weren't in person, we had a lot of people that were sending us messages, and we were placing, we were getting their orders and shipping them out to them, or even delivering it to people. So if you're in this area, we'll deliver it to you. And if you're not in this area, again, you can the best way to reach us is on that Facebook page, which is Kikifers Beauty Supply, and just send us a direct
message.
Can you
spell that? Because nobody.
Sure. So the Kikifers is spelled Kiki, right? Kiki, and then Fers, Fers, and Beauty Supply. So that you can find that on Facebook.
Praise be to Allah. Kiki's Beauty Supply, Kikifers Beauty Supply. Make sure we all support. Okay, now let's go back to you, Brother Henry, with a school that goes from kindergarten to high school.
Yes, sir.
Please explain and let us know what's your mission statement? What are you all about?
Yes, sir. So I'll keep it short. I know the Muslims be long-winded. So the basis of the school is that every student has to start a small business that generates revenue. And then they also have to publish a minimum of 1 book a year. And we took that from the Messenger's philosophy of do for self. So we're literally, because we're business coaches, we literally took our passion for doing business and said, if we can put this in a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 13-year-old of our people, instead of us looking outside our community for our solutions, we can find those solutions within our community. And so what we did is our school is very non-traditional. Like, we don't have your traditional teachers teaching in front of the class, self-paced environment. So it allows students to be able to knock out, like my daughter, for example, age-wise, she's going into 6th grade, but academically, she's halfway through 8th grade. So at this pace, she'll graduate high school by by 13, 14 years old, she would graduate high school. It allows us to be able to take students out of public school and catch them up if they're behind, or advanced students if they would like to advance and graduate early, or whatever the case may be. In addition to that, of course, we do Black History year round. We have STEM. We have a large national network of people, from Antonio T. Smith Jr., who's America's youngest billionaire, to A. Donahue Baker, who has a Black bank that's a national bank chain called Money Ave Bank, all the way down to like the smallest, youngest entrepreneurs. But we have a large network of entrepreneurs. And so in addition to getting the Common Core, English, reading, math, science, history, we bring in guest speakers consistently to feed the babies, to broaden their horizons. And so they get, Minister Nuri came and spoke at the school. We had Sister Yavanka who spoke at the school, but even outside of the nation as well, we brought in, different celebrities, different people to speak to the children and let them know and understand that there's no limitations on what they want to do in life. And that's really our passion. Like, that's what we breathe, eat, sleep. Like, that is the joy of our life. And it's so in line with what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that he wanted, that it's just, that for me, that's it right there. So that's the school in a nutshell.
Praise be to Allah. Sister Khadija Kareem says, praise be to Allah. Get it. This is her first time watching. Thank you for watching. Sister Tracy Muhammad says, ASA family. And thank you all for continuing to show love to the People's Podcast. Now for you, Sister Kishanda, what has the school meant to you?
Good question. I wasn't expecting that. It has become my life's purpose. So I was a police officer for about 8 years, right? Didn't want to keep doing that. And then when I left that, I ended up being a substitute teacher within our school district. And I just saw how bad things were as far as education for our children. I saw it firsthand. And so at one point in our city, I was teaching a reading class where I had sophomores and juniors that couldn't tell me the difference between a vowel and a consonant. And it was just heartbreaking. And so instead of continuing to be, the person that complains about our school district, is not doing anything for our children, is not doing anything for our community, I decided to do something about it. And that's what the school means to me. It means everything to me. It literally is, what's driving me to continue to try to build something that's bigger, much, much bigger than myself. People ask, why did you decide to start the school? Because it was more important to me to offer this opportunity to not just my own child, but to our entire community. And so if it was great for me to homeschool my daughter and to teach her to be an entrepreneur and to help her publish books, then it's also good for other children in my community to become entrepreneurs and to publish books and to just have an education where they can just come to school and see someone that looks like them, right? Come to school and feel comfortable being themselves and not feel like there's just this subtle, I don't know, somebody that doesn't like them, somebody that doesn't love them, just this feeling that the teacher on the other side of the desk doesn't really care about me, doesn't really want me here, doesn't really want to be here. I wanted our children to feel comfortable and to feel safe and to want to go to school and to want to have an education. So I don't want to complain about it. I want to do something about it. So that's why I decided to start a school, and that's what keeps me. That's what keeps driving me to continue to do this.
Brother Joshua, I forgot to mention that due to the pandemic, the pandemic kind of altered the way we had the school set up, but it was so non-traditional that it actually catapulted us. So now we have students in Houston, we have students in San Antonio, we have students in Austin, we have students in Dallas, we have students in Atlanta, we have students in Wilmington, North Carolina, we have students in Omaha, Nebraska, we have students in Wisconsin, we have students pretty much all over the country now because the opportunity allowed us once the virtual component was allowed. So we have physical in-person, where we started with 7 students above our beauty supply store when we first started the school. And in just 3 short years, we've grown, this will be our 3rd year, we've grown into now somewhere between 70 to 100 students and continuing to grow. We get registrations from students every single day. So that's another component that's making it massive. And one last thing I forgot to mention, but this was so unique to me. Our school was invited to Tulsa, Oklahoma this past, was it May? Mm-hmm. This past May for the 100th centennial of Black Wall Street. Mm-hmm. We were the only school that was there, but they featured our school as the future of entrepreneurship for the Black community. And so our students were able to set up deals where when they publish their books, they're able to sell their books additionally at the Black bookstores in Tulsa. 2 of the art galleries on Pine and Pine and Greenwood set up deals. So when our students do art class, they can ship their art to Tulsa and have it sold in the art galleries. It just was a great experience. We took students down there for about five days. And that experience to us just really opened up so many different things. So we really are excited about that as well. So I wanted to add that in because we have believers who have students as well across the country in our school as well. So it's working out. It's just become a blessing, man, just a big blessing.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. That means so much. Thank you all again for your amazing testimony and story. My sister Naima says, praise be to Allah. Sister Khadija wants to know, Sister Khadija, they answered the question earlier. What grades you all is from kindergarten to high school, correct?
Yes, sir.
Kindergarten to high school. Sister Khadija, please look up Kikifers Entrepreneur Academy on Facebook, correct?
Yes, sir.
Facebook, and then we'll have the website to you all very shortly. And I can't wait to put this on YouTube. As we continue to keep going, I want to have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast, and I want to make sure that we come back and hear from Brother Henry and Sister Kishonda about who you are as individuals, as a married, who are you all, so that people can not only be introduced to your school, but to the humans behind the school. Praise be to Allah. All right, we have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors. I want to thank everyone because I've been working tirelessly this new season, coming up with some content that we can make sure that we continue to bring great panelists to see what we are doing in the community for those who may not know. I mean, I didn't know, you know, and I'm born in the nation and didn't know what you all were doing. So I can only imagine people outside of the nation, you know, we just got to do better with knowing, you know, what's going on. For everyone who would like to be a sponsor or donor of the People's Podcast, please Cash App the People's Podcast. Thank you very much. My brother Rashad, Street Premier Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out to him if you need any of that work. My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me children's book and coloring book, both of which are available on Amazon. Please reach out and get those. My sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country and right here in the studio in Atlanta, Georgia. We love our tiny dancers. Thank you very much. Sister Rashida Rafat, Raw Communications. She offers copy editing, project management, content development, media relations, and consulting. Thank you very much, Sister Rashida Rafat with Raw Communications. Thank you very much. Also, our brother out of Minister Robert L. Muhammad out of Austin, Texas, with Conflict, Squashing the Beef, and conflict resolution. Thank you very much for him. His wife, Sister Fudia Muhammad, with her book, Giving Birth to a God and the Most High, you know, Giving Birth to a God, The Science of Child Rearing. This is the Fudia Muhammad. Let's make sure we support her as well. The book, they've been on my podcast. They've done a great job. Thank you very much with you all, Sister Fudia and Minister Robert. Elevated Places out of Houston, Texas. Sister Melva Muhammad. We thank you very much. They have a school out of Houston, Texas. They do a great job of educating young kings and queens out of Houston, Texas. Thank you very much. Brother Kenneth, Bow Tie Maker Extraordinaire. We thank you very much as well. If you can ship bow ties to you anywhere in the country, I want to make sure we Asiatic Minds Online, which is a virtual school, which is launching this semester, asiaticminds.com. We please go to asiaticminds.com. Make sure we support them. Dr. Henry M. Carter, King Henry's Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Coming right back to our amazing couple, Brother Rashad Muhammad, COVID-19 Disinfecting Cleaning Services out of Chicago. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, abdulsharif.com. And last but not least, my two books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book on Amazon, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Thank you all very much for all of your sponsors and everyone who was on YouTube that we don't get to interact live with, but we thank you all for each comment. Back to our couple. So, Brother Henry, when did you know that you were ready to get married to Sister Kashonda?
That's a great question, brother. Man, you kind of have the feeling, you know. I don't know if it's a feeling or if it's you just happen to know. You click with different people. There's a spark there. There's something magnetic and energetic, and I knew there was something special about her, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. But I was just drawn, brother. It was different than, you know, any other feeling I ever had before. And you know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan taught us, man, that the woman really is your key to heaven, to paradise, man. And this sister, man, when I met her, she was actually in college, and she was all the things that a man would want in a woman at that time of my life. That I see, like, she was a All-American basketball player. She was D1 full ride scholarship. I'm like, oh, she into sports? Okay. She liked video games? Okay. So I, you know, all the things that I was looking for, I was like, man, she has it all. So praise be to Allah that we were able to, you know, marry and join the path of marriage and strive to become one for 15 years now.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, excellent. That's great. And Sister Kashonda, I'm an athlete. I like sports. What position did you play in basketball?
I played the 3 guard positions.
Okay.
And so, you know, just to put it out there, nobody in this nation want any smoke with me behind that 3-point line. I'm just gonna put it out there right now. You, the Supreme Son, whoever, they don't want no smoke behind that 3-point line. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's amazing. Well, what was it about you while you're in college, you're playing basketball? What was it about you that let you know that Brother Henry was the one?
The one thing that I was most attracted to about Brother Henry was his fearlessness. something that I knew growing up, right? I played sports, obviously, so I was around a lot of boys. And one thing I hated in young men was like being soft or being scared. And so I related it to sports, obviously. You like I couldn't handle the young man that wouldn't box out or that wouldn't, play good defense, like just wouldn't play hard. Like I couldn't stand soft men. It just didn't like it. And Brother Henry was absolutely fearless, and he feared no man but God himself. And that is something that I had never really seen in a man in my life. So that was something that really drew me to him, is his love for God and his love for his nation, and the fearlessness that brought out of him.
Praise be to Allah. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, so back to you, Sister Kashana. We come back to Brother Henry. How did he propose?
So my favorite animal is a tiger.
Okay.
And so he had set up like a scavenger hunt, if you will.
Okay.
And so ultimately there was like these little notes that I was kind of running around reading, and the last one led to a little white tiger that had a necklace on it and the engagement ring on it. So he didn't actually say the words. He wrote it down, and I had to read it, and I had to come back to him and say, "Oh yeah, here's a yes to your question."
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Okay, well, Brother Henry, what advice would you give to future husbands?
I would say, man, that the greatest knowledge that was given to me, and I want to say my student minister gave it to me. He said, if the idea of quitting is a possibility, don't start. Once you lock in, he said, that's it. There is no, he said, I don't care what happens. I don't care how bad it gets. When people say their vows, everybody says it. He said, but people not realizing for poor, it could be a real thing. For sickness, it could be a real thing. All the negative sides, because we're so happy and it's so emotional, you focus on the positive sides, but you have to be willing, no matter how bad the argument gets, no matter what you go through, at the end of the day, that woman is locked in with you in her belief in Master Fard Muhammad, and you all gave your word. So remember, no matter what you going through, you gave your word to him for her. And so for me, that's all it took. On the days when I get mad and I want to say something, what would the guy say? So we got to figure it out. And we've been locked in for 15 years now. So praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Excellent. Okay. And for you, Sister Kashanda, what advice would you give to future wives?
In the Nation of Islam or not, I would say that there's something to a woman working on herself and making sure that she's prepared mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, physically, that she's ready to be a wife. I shouldn't say you can't, but the biggest advice that I would give to any woman, whether they're in the Nation of Islam or not, is to strive and work on being the best you, the best woman that you can be. And in turn, you will, by default, be a good wife, be a good mother, be a good helpmate for your husband. So as long as you're walking in the path of Allah, or the path of Jehovah, or the path of Jesus, whoever he is, right? Whatever you call him, work on yourself and work on being the best you for your creator, and your husband will be happy.
Praise be to Allah. And so many people are showing you all love. Can't wait to put this on YouTube. Mr. Robin is putting 100. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, Brother Henry, you just have two more questions for you all, because we want to make sure that we promote your academy and your business. But Brother Henry, for you, if you could pick a song that represents, you all's relationship, what song would you use?
All right, I got a song, brother, but I gotta qualify this as a believer.
It's like you knew this.
Yeah, I did. So for our anniversary, one of the things I gave my wife was a gift. I did a notebook where for 6 months straight, I just wrote down, every day I wrote down something I loved about my wife and put it into a notebook and gave it to her. So in the midst of that, I had found some music. So I found this song that I thought the song was beautiful. It was outside of my cultural comfort zones. So I had to qualify it first. But there's this song called something like I knew I loved you. It's like, what's that song? You know what I'm talking about?
It's called I Knew I Love You by Savage Garden.
Yeah, so but the lyrics in the song and what they're saying, that's really the message I would convey. In the song they're talking about, you know, I think I loved you before I met you, and it's this beautiful expression of love. So I definitely, that would have to be it off the top of my head. That would be that song would pin it in for me.
Beautiful, praise be to Allah. And for you, Sister Kishanda, what song would you choose to represent you all's relationship and marriage?
It's interesting because I was thinking when you said that typically one would choose such a loving song. This is why I love you, right? But and I hope I'm not bogus in this, but I forgot who sings it. But it's a hip hop song. And it goes something about F them other something because I ride for my something.
Okay, see murder. Okay.
Yes,
see murder. Absolutely.
That's me right
That's
there.
that Detroit coming out.
I ride.
We all know see murder as soon as it come on. As soon as we hear that.
That's the one. That see murder, ride or die. Forget everybody else. I'm riding with the one.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. And Sister Candy says, you know, she was saying yes, come through, work on yourself, and saying see murder as well. Excellent. Brother Henry, what do you want parents to know about your school?
So my biggest message for parents is that the answer to almost all of your prayers is in your children. There's a solution in them. And you as a parent, your job is to extract from them what God put in them. And the more you extract the greatness out of your child, the more your prayers can be answered. These children, man, these babies that Allah is producing nowadays are so brilliant. They are so advanced. They're so smart. They're so great that, you know, if you are as a parent suffer any type of difficulties, poverty, unemployment, whatever, look to your babies. And I'm not saying lean on them, but if you invest in them, there's no greater return on investment than investing in your child. That child of yours, as they grow, like, man, I've seen babies, and by babies, I'm still talking kindergarten through high school. I'm still talking, but these children are so advanced, man. Like, this is whatever God has put into the DNA of children. It's like something, an on switch happened, and now these babies are coming. All they need is the right environment. They need the right food, the right water. It's like a fish tank. Take care of that tank, and that fish is going to continue to give you everything you need, man. So I definitely would tell parents, you know, never give up on your children. God has an answer to your prayers in your children. And as the parent, it's up to you to extract out of your child what God has put in them. Because that's what, for all of us that are believers, that's what the minister has done for us, is there may have been greatness in us that we didn't know about, but he was able to extract it, you know? So there's greatness in us. It's just, do we have the toolkit to go inside the workshop of God, which is our child, and then extract that greatness out? And that's really the basis of our school. Even though our school is non-religious, all of our children have a course on being a God. And what does it mean to be a God? And how do you have force and power and the power of creation? And if you want to be a millionaire, create. So I would give that to our parents.
Beautiful. Excellent response. And for you, Sister Kishanda, what advice, same question, what advice would you give to the parents about your academy?
I would say, I would just I can just reiterate what he said and add to that. It's bigger than your child. And so you can invest 225% into your child, right? But at some point, your baby has to go out into the world. And if you didn't pour anything back into the world, then your child is going out into mud, they're going out into dirt. So what path can you invest in other people's children to help clear the path for your own child? And there's something to that saying that it takes a village. That's so key, that's so crucial. It's much bigger than just your 1, 2, 3, how many ever children you have. We live in a world 196,940,000 square miles, right? So you can't just invest in your 4x4 home and just your babies. Invest in your entire community, which is including everybody's baby, to make literally the world a better place, to make literally our communities decent and safe places to live, not just your 4 walls inside your home.
Amazing, great responses, and everybody is showing love in the comments. Thank you all very much. Beautiful, beautiful. Sister Candy says, yes, some of us have failed our children and are living in guilt, but okay, hold on 1 second. But we pray that Allah forgives us and has mercy and allows correction. Come on with actual facts. My sister Naima saying, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Everybody's clapping and showing you all love. Sister Robin is putting the hands in there to praise hands.
Alhamdulillah.
YouTube. This has been an amazing, some amazing information as well as inspiration. And may Allah bless you all both with your businesses to keep being examples of the work that we're doing. So anytime that you all have anything that you have students or anybody that wants to come on people's podcasts, please let me know, because this podcast is for the people and you all are doing a great job. So whatever we can do to stay connected, man, may Allah bless y'all to keep winning.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that so much, brother.
No problem. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching.